Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Wilkes University women's soccer. Kate Mahoney, the senior, joining us right now. Katie, senior year is here. It's 2015. It goes fast, always does. But tell us about your experience there for the Lady Colonels.
Well, I really love playing here. It was really the main reason that I came to Wilkes to play soccer, and I've stuck through it all 4 years. I was out with an injury my sophomore year. I got a concussion, and I couldn't play all through my junior year too. But the team has been my backbone, like all through my injury, and now I'm back this year, and I hope we have a good season.
Well, talk about the position you play. It's not a fun one sometimes, but at other times, it's great when you have a nice group of defenders right in front of you to help you out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a keeper for Wilkes, and that's definitely true. I've been lucky. I've had a really strong back line all 4 years I've been here. This year we have a lot of returning players on our back line, and we have a lot of new freshmen that just came in who look really good too.
Well, you talk about your team this year. Obviously, you want to compete with Misericordia University and other teams in the league, and it's going to be one of those years where you feel like, I'm sure, the girls with you can do the job.
Oh, yeah. I think that we're going to be really strong this year. We have just enough returning players and just enough new talent to really dominate in the midfield and in the back, and I think we'll be able to do this year and win the match.
When you talk about fighting through the adversity of injuries and getting to class and doing all those things, college life's a lot different than high school. Tell us about some of those personal experiences that you've had and trying to overcome adversity and forging ahead to be successful.
I think when you're in high school, because you go to class like all day long, you're with your friends all day long, all my best friends are on my soccer team. So when I got injured, when I was down, when I lost time playing with my friends, it was like being pulled away from my family. And I think it's different than high school because the level is just so much higher. Practice is so much more intense, and your life really revolves around soccer. You're all day, even when you're in class, you're preparing for practice. You're preparing for games. You're still thinking about what you're going to do at practice, and it's just more intense, and you really have to schedule your time around the sport you play.
Talk about the culture there at Wilkes University with the women's soccer. Ladies do a lot of fundraisers, spend a lot of time together, try to travel a little bit. Your coach is kind of really into it as well. So tell us about that bond, as you mentioned, that you have with your friends and doing other things other than soccer to try to make that experience a full-blown thing.
Coach does do a really good job with that. Every 2 years, he takes the team out of the country, and that was a huge reason why I came here, and it was a huge bonding moment for my class and the class above me especially. We all really got together and established friendships on that trip. We also do a bunch of football fundraisers, and those are always great. The whole team participates and helps out with those. And all the fundraising we do really goes to those trips. So all the seniors pay back with volunteer work now at the football tournaments for the freshmen that just came in. So their trip will be just as good as ours was when we went, and it brings everybody closer together.
Kate Mahoney, Wilkes University women's soccer here on the John Mendola Show. Kate, we talked a little bit about the defense. How about some players that you've seen, maybe at practice or what you're hearing from Coach on the offensive end from time to time? I'm sure some of those players are trying to shoot and score on you in practice.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the worst part because they know exactly where my weaknesses are, so they know exactly where to shoot the ball. But we have a lot of good strikers returning. We had Diana Connor score a really nice goal in our last scrimmage, and we have a returning senior Megan Binder who was in our back line. She might be moving up to midfield now. We also have a bunch of really great returning defenders like Courtney Krasnomowicz, Emily, Shelby. All of them are going to be key players when we're playing this year. And our bench is really deep, so we're going to be rotating through a bunch of players. We probably won't have a set 4 starters, and I think that that's a really good thing for our team moving forward.
Katie, let's head over to the academic side. Tell us about your major and your plans in the future. It is your senior year. What are your future plans, and what you're doing?
So I'm a marketing major with a minor in accounting. Currently, I'm in an incubator startup group called the Magnesium Works, and we're looking at homeopathic remedies for concussion syndrome, which is what I suffered from my sophomore year. So I hope to carry that on after school. I think that we can really help girls like me get back to playing faster. And I also had an internship with Color Windows and Doors this summer, and I just accepted a position with them for when I graduate.
And tell us a little about your family and the support you get and trying to get out to see you when they can and where you're from.
I'm from Kinston, New Hampshire, so I live pretty far away, but my mom and dad are unbelievable. My dad came to every single home game we had freshman year, and it's a 5.5-hour drive. He's unbelievable. He's at all of my games. Both my parents are calling me, texting me during the game and after the game. They both call me before the game. My mom, when I got hurt, was my main support system. I couldn't have gotten through it without her, and she was down here working with my teachers and my advisors when I was so concussed I couldn't even come out of my room. I couldn't do it without them. They're really the reason that I am playing in college, and they're the reason that I came back this year to play.
Always great hearing those stories. What a terrific mom and dad you had, and wow, that is something. 5.5-hour trip every home game. That's impressive. And again,
he's great there.
Again, what your mom's able to do as well when you had some adversity there. But it sounds like you really you have a great base, and it sounds like you have a real bright future and a passion as well, which is coming up. But we wish you well this season, Katie, and we appreciate your time.
Well, thank you so much.
Kate Mahoney, a Wilkes University senior, ready to go and hit that women's soccer field, that's for sure. Here on the John Mendola Show, we are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.